Christopher Aseka.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to support the budget policy statement 2024. This statement is written in accordance to section 25(2) of the Public Finance and Management Act of 2012. BBS lays government priorities and strategies. It helps to set ceilings, expenditure ceilings by every vote. And look at this budget policy statement, Honorable Speaker. I want to say that Treasury has really worked well to ensure that the deficit on the 2024-2025 budget is reduced from 886 billion to 703. But as we laud Treasury in this endeavor, we should also ask ourselves, Honorable Speaker, if the overprojection of revenue collection by Treasury will hinder the implementation of this budget. Mr. Speaker, if Treasury doesn't collect the 2.5 trillion in ordinary revenue, it means the deficit on this budget will increase. It also means, Mr. Speaker, that some programs and projects within the budget will be affected. But on good side, Mr. Speaker, I want also to laud this budget policy statement. As the chairman of Budget and Appropriation Committee has put it, ensuring equity and equality within the nation is the way to go. Having an equal amount of money to ensure that all areas within the Republic of Kenya are connected to the power is one thing that we should laud. Mr. Speaker, having money in this budget to ensure that our interns, whom we employed some 2 or 3 years ago, are employed on a permanent and a pensionable basis is another thing that we should laud. Mr. Speaker, also having more money to Parliament to enhance capacity building for members of Parliament, to ensure that there is money for Senate oversight, and ensuring, Mr. Speaker, that Parliament does not operate in a way that is being undermined by executive is also another way, Mr. Speaker, to go. But as we look at this, Mr. Speaker, we must also look at the credibility part of the budget and ensure that this budget is credible, it is implementable, and something that the Treasury has not come out clear on this budget policy statement is how it's going to manage the pending bills. But Mr. Speaker, I support. Thank you.
Thank you, Seka. Geoffrey Mwangi from Tetu.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also rise to applaud the chairman of the Budget Committee for such a well thought out budget policy statement. And Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I must admit that this budget is quite pro-poor. It touches on the most important aspects of the lives of our people, the most pressing needs. And so this is very much in line with the Kenya Kwanza government bottom-up economic transformation model. Mr. Speaker, I would just like to point out a few things that caught my attention, and one of them is the need to complete some of our ongoing projects, especially roads. And Mr. Speaker, in my own constituency, Teto, we have a lot of roads that have stalled, and so there's additional money that has been provided is going to become very useful for that. Mr. Speaker, it's also very important that we deal with the issues of pending bills. It is important to note that pending bills have now become the third most important source of government financing, which ideally they should not, because we should not be waiting for small SMEs to provide services to government and then wait for many years. So it is important that we set aside money for pending bills. Mr. Speaker, putting more money to farmers in terms of subsidized fertilizer, subsidized seeds and seedlings is a welcome move. Part of the reason why inflation has reduced to 6.3% in the month of February has been because of the good harvest that we have gotten in the last 2 seasons. And now with the rains are setting in early, it is important that we fast track taking subsidized fertilizer to to our farmers so that they can be able to be on time, for the harvest. Mr. Speaker, the hiring of 20,000 interns, and especially the confirmation of those ones who are already interns, will come as a big relief. Already as members of parliament, we are under a lot of push by these interns, whether they are going to be relieved or whether they are going to be confirmed at the end of their term. So those moves to ensure that all of them, 100%, will be absorbed on permanent and pensionable basis will come as an extra relief. The money going to CDF, the extra 30 million, the extra 50 million going to REDEC, the extra 10 billion going to KERA, all of them are targeted to each and every constituency are going to give a much needed boost. And Mr. Speaker, just like my colleagues have said, the work done at the constituency level is visible. While we cannot speak about the work done at county or these other places, it is easy to identify a classroom, it is easy to identify a road, it is easy to parade students who are actually going to school, courtesy of the bursary program. But Mr. Speaker, the challenge we have is it's one thing to allocate money. It's another thing to ensure that the money is managed prudently. So the people concerned, especially in the executive, the accounting officers for the various departments that are going to be receiving this money, we urge and implore them to ensure that it is used prudently. For a country, a developing country like Kenya, we cannot afford to waste even a single shilling. Our development is pegged on how well we can utilize our resources efficiently. Otherwise, Mr. Speaker, we will for very many years continue to compare ourselves with Singapore, we will continue to compare ourselves with Korea, and the difference between them and us is how well they utilize the resources at their disposal. So I rise to support and congratulate the chairman of the budget, and Mr. Speaker, though belatedly, allow me to welcome Kiriti Secondary School, who are here in the gallery. They are a school for my constituency and one of the very well performing schools. So together with all the other schools that are here, I warmly welcome them to the House of Parliament. Thank you.
Thank you, Geoffrey. Edith Nyenze.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Let me take this opportunity to say I support the budget proposal statement from the chair, and I take this time to congratulate the committee for the hard work they put